only female here too.
And a new group of TV called the Five-Man Cargo. I've got an interesting background. We'll talk with them.
Fred Latremouille, who is just an incredible talent. And I just want to tell a very quick story, because we're going to have speakers. And by the way, order your food when they come by. Okay? Fred Latremouille, and I said, well, I look at it this way. Once in a lifetime, someone with everything going for them. This is made up. And she's putting one on crossing right now. There you go.
Don't send me something that you want me to do.
Where the teams go, we'll be going. As far as music is concerned, let's go.
That would just sort of materialize, kind of like Manuel at the end of every episode. And he would show up in the strangest places, but he was charismatic. What a terrific fella. It's like every time I saw Fred, I felt better. And I'm sure most of you feel the same way. That he cared about everything about you. And the hog the podium, and the edit sign would come up 50, 60 times, and then there'd be a fist fight, and chairs would go through the windows. Radio spots in Vancouver. And totally unprofessional.
Too at CKVN, which became C-Fund again after Chum purchased it in '73. through the help of Don Ransom, and got a gig with CKVN doing all nights, and Fred was hired for mornings. In a typical Fred fashion, the first thing he did is take off for 4 weeks in Kauai. Typical Fred. Fred was always the wind in my career sales. When I finally made it to CFTR in Toronto, did I call my parents? My brother there for her when she needed you. No surprise to me how kind you both were. Thank you so much. Freddie, I miss you.
A fat joke. You know,
Long speech.
Fred and I were colleagues. And I worked on, thank you, really good radio spots together. And at that time, there were so many good commercial radio actors, just fantastic people. It was Fred, a master of the craft, looking at me to see if I thought he was funny. Actually, it'd be great, Miles, if you go, no, that wasn't true, Bill. That would be good for my guy for bassoon. That bassoon guy can't take it. I get to call. And I think that so many of the commercials I did and became known for, I only did them because Freddie didn't do them.
World Series of Leisure. Today's semifinals featured Henry Kim lounging in a hotel pool.
Henry flew 10 inter-island flights with Hawaiian Airlines and got his free inter-island flight here today, Fred.
You know, if the other guys, that takes 15 flights.
Well, Hawaiian Miles is the best frequent flyer program in the islands. You earn miles easier, get more rewards, and fly free faster.
Look at this. Henry Kim is reaching out. He's sniffing his ring.
Well, this guy knows how to relax.
We were extras, so extras sit around most of the time until the director says, okay, you guys walk through the back there. And we became friends that day. And we remained friends for the next 40 plus years. Fred was, as it's been alluded to, Fred was probably the most talented guy, not only that I ever worked with, but I ever ran across.
Why get stuck with anything else?
Oh, good morning. I'm married to Sue. It's because Bill. Hello. When it got to the point where Kathy was asked by the doctors to arrange hospice, Joanne and Jack and myself, we called down to Kathy to say, hey, you know, do you need any help? Would you like someone there? And she said, no, I'm fine, everything's fine, it'll be all right. But the more we thought about it, we thought, well, somebody should be there. So after my phone call, I hung up, and my wife Jerry said, well, what did she say? And I said, well, she doesn't want anyone there. She said, don't you know anything about women? Get back on the phone and tell her you're going down there. So I got back on the phone and Kathy, I thought I'd come down to Arizona to help you out. Oh, thank you so much. The whole time my wife was pregnant, Fred referred to her on the air as the good ship Jerry. And his irritable bowel syndrome. I can't believe I'm saying this. I think I'm channeling Fred here, am I? It's a luncheon. But it was also impossible for him to keep his own secrets. In the final weeks of his life, he and Kathy were driving back from an appointment at the doctor, where the doctor had told Fred that he had anywhere from a month to a year to live. So Kathy asked Fred, well, who do you want to know about this? Do you want this public knowledge, or who do you want to know? And he looked at her and he said, well, I want your mom to know, and I want Wayne to know. So she said, all right. So they got home. Fred placed a phone call to me, and he told me the whole thing about how he didn't have much time and like that. And please, he said, would you keep it a secret? I said, well, of course I would. Well, now 20 minutes later, I got a call from a friend of mine who said, hey, what's the matter with Fred? And I said, well, he's not feeling very good these days. Really? The guy said, well, he just posted on Facebook that the doctor said if he didn't straighten up, he'd be having a dirt nap.
Good morning, Bruce.
Yep.
Bill Winkler at the taxidermist office in Stevenson.
Yeah, Bill.
And the fish is ready.
Are you kidding?
No. I'll be out at Lake Point. Okay, it's a little smaller than it was supposed to have been. How do you mean? Well, during the pressure coat painting, the tail kind of